game, what is it, 6-month season, 7-month season, and he will respond. He's that competitive and that good that you make a few baskets and, it seems like a distant memory of some downtime that you might have had. And tonight he had 19 points in the first half, got us going, and had an excellent game.
I think something might be him adjusting to not having Joel out there, taking a little bit of time to do that to a degree, Brett.
I think there's some of that. I think there's some of that. I think there's some of that. And, Joel's size and width and just familiarity of setting screens and the nuances that those two have shared over the past few seasons, I think that they hunt for each other in almost a non-play call way. Like, I put them in some stuff, but they sort of find each other naturally, organically. And I do think, Tom, that there's some of that.
That more you got from Jimmy down the stretch, would you like to see that more throughout the game rather than just in crunch time?
I mean, I feel it's a little bit to Kyle's point that, the game speaks. And we have sometimes that's just going to happen to, Tobias or Joel. And, like, I love the pace that we played at. I love the sharing. I would have 18 or 19 assists in the first half. Like, we had another big number in the first half. And we had 70 points against the 7th best defensive team in the NBA that is fighting their hearts out for a playoff spot. They beat Golden State Warriors, 4 days ago, a week ago, whatever it was. And so the ball moved, people played, the game speaks, and that's how it played out. And I give him more credit than I do anything.
Before the game about how important Mike is going to be to you guys, especially in the playoffs, especially with those small lineups. Are you incrementally encouraged every game we see a little bit more with that big 3 tonight at the end?
Yeah. Yes, I am. I am. And I think that you look at Amir Johnson, the work that he put in after we all get what his season has been, and a week and a half ago he drove himself to Delaware so he could play in a G League game. Think about that, a 13-year NBA veteran drives himself just so he can play basketball again. And I have tremendous amount of respect for his humility and his pride and his professionalism. And for me to see him go out there and play his best game of the year in a game where we're missing 3 of our centers, it's encouraging. It's a hell of a story. And I think the job that Mike Scott did, when you talk about the appreciation, and Justin that came in and did those 3 guys did a great job on an NBA All-Star. Mike has showed his worth in other areas, to your point, Sarah, as well.
Sorry if you had this before, but Jimmy in the fourth quarter, he hadn't had a chance to get much of a flow offensively to find his rhythm and find some key shots.
You missed it. You're about 4 minutes. It's too late. It's okay. I'll be quick. He did, and I thought because of the pace of the game, the flow of the game in the first half, the game speaks. The game absorbed different players, and he was a part of sharing and moving the ball. And then in the fourth period, he really did stand out, stand up, and we needed that.
We saw a little bit of the Ben Tobias two-man game tonight. Do you want to see more and more now since they get more?
I mean, there's lots of pairings that interest me. And it's more about who's guarding them when you make decisions of where you're going to go. And, we put JJ and stuff. We put Mike and Tobias, Ben and Tobias, Jimmy and Mike. Like, you can go different places and try to play in the middle of the floor and space it and just pick on some stuff and, play that style from time to time. Ideally, it's not the style I love. I like the pace, the flow, the ball movement like the first half. We had 70 points. But sometimes you just got to go to places, as you're talking about, and those 2 did pair up well. But I think we have lots of possibilities that we can go to with the team that Elton has put together.
You need everybody to do a little bit more with no Joel. I think Tobias.
Say that one more time.
You need everybody to do a little bit more without Joel. But
yes.
I think Tobias has had 20+ in each of the 6 games. He has been consistently, giving you seemingly what you need out of him.
He plays with just a tremendous amount of grace. He really does. There is a sort of quiet assassin that just sort of moves. And I think that there is a grace about how he plays. And, you know, I hear him on the bench. I really enjoy communicating with him about aspects in the flow of a game, you know, talking about what's going on in real time. And he's just, you know, he's all eyes and ears and respectful, you know, it's all that. And I just really enjoy coaching him.
When you guys are healthy, Joel's here, maybe you played for a little while longer, what specifically do you envision JJ doing? He's been
Yeah. I think being sort of lightning in a bottle. I think being a shot maker when you need stuff. One of the exciting things, I think, is as you project out, like, who guards who when we are whole. You know, inevitably in previous games last year in particular, you know, he'd get the dog. He'd get the best defensive perimeter player. And something's got to give. You know, maybe he still does. Then something else, I think, is going to unfold. And so I think as we become whole, and you ask, like, what do I think his role is going to be? I think it's going to be lightning in a bottle type of offense. And I'll be curious if I'm right on who guards him. But I feel comfortable that once we see what's going on, that we can help him generate looks.
What did you see from Justin out there?
Not afraid. I thought he passed the ball well. He took the shots he should have shot, you know, comfortably. I see size that moves. Like, there's an agility about his style of play that at his age and his skill set, you know, is really interesting. I saw that.
With a young big like that, how do you walk the line between you need to get him reps so he sees things unfold and he makes the reads better, while also balancing that against you need to win and you can't live with maybe like over chasing on block shot attempts?
Yeah. And you're talking more about like the minutes that I will give him?
So how do you balance that between you need to play him, but you also need to pull him aside sometimes and say, hey, we can't have that?
I think to let's go stay with the minutes for a second. He was on the court tonight because of circumstance, out of any of our control injury. It'll be hard for him to continue to grab minutes with the way our team is constructed and the calendar. Like in March, I don't feel the need right now to do anything else but win games. And the development will come, and, you know, maybe some more G League appearances. When I'm able to, I will use him. If something unusual like tonight happens, I'll do what I did, is the first thing in regards to minutes. And I think because those minutes are so scarce, if he does make a mistake in the game, it's not my style to, you know, yank him out, and I'll hit him in a dead ball situation. I'll continue to coach him in real time and grow him in that capacity. He's a good kid. He's trying, but how much I'm going to be able to play him going forward is up in the air. That's up for debate.
Did Ben have the Batman role at any point tonight? It looked like he was playing with free safety.
Yes, and when I think that we're covering for each other well. Some of the things that we had to do with Nick, we switched a lot. We had some unfavorable matchups, you know, at the end, sometimes with TJ or JJ, one time with Jonathan, that, you know, we needed to get those guys out quick. And, you know, at times it's sort of the closest big. Ben at that point a few times was the closest big. He got in, we got him out. And I thought we did a pretty good job of being physical with Nick. We did have some gambles going at him, double teaming him. Some we were rewarded. And some were just part of our defensive scheme to get smaller guys out of there as quickly as we can.
It's sort of unique that you have a point guard who sees the whole floor on offense, and then he can switch and play five-man and see the whole floor on defense. There's not really many players that could be reasonably called on to do that, right?
I think that he has a chance over his career to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I think that he does so many things that you just shake your head athletically. He's 6'10". Everybody like sees what he does in early offense, pushing the ball one way. Have a look at some of the ground that he can make up. I think he's second or first in the NBA blocking three-point shots. There's some stat out there where he gets his hand on three-point shooters' balls from distance. He's covering 15 feet, and he can still, get a fingernail on the ball. I really feel like that, to me, is going to be his specialty. We see his gifts offensively. I see it down the road more defensively, or as much defensively as I do the other parts of his game.
I know you're shorthanded, but do you foresee anybody taking tomorrow night off because of the back-to-back?
I hope not.
Just, I guess, sticking to our game plan defensively, doing my job, not trying to mess up. That's what a veteran guy does, I guess. Get in there and just play hard and, do your best to do your job, get stops. This is not your side. This is my good side.
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Can I take the mic out?
You do whatever you want, man. It's your show. You're answering all the questions. I'm just up here for moral support.
Can I get a shout out?
Shout yourself out.
I did. Guys.
You've been in the league a long time, but you also haven't had too much playing time this year. So when you go into games like this where all of a sudden you're starting, is there any type of jitters type thing that you might have gotten when you were younger, or is it just...
Nah, not at all. I just know how to do my job. Whether I'm starting or on the bench, I played both sides. I played in the D League, which is the G League now. It's just the only thing I control is myself and me staying ready. So any chance I get to play or whatever it is I'm doing on the court, I'm always ready.
Good answer, man. Appreciate you. It's good. Hands off. Yes, sir.
Jimmy, this late game role, I think before you took that first
step.
I
wasn't. Yes.
No. It's two ways here. You had a big game. You got to answer questions.
I don't do nothing.
You didn't hit two step back jumpers and have two big defensive plays at the end of the game. Jimmy, at that point, you only took 8 shots up until that point. When your number's called, is there anything strange or anything weird about, being asked to be the closer in that situation when you really haven't taken that many field goals up to that point?
No, I think I know when my number's going to get called. I'm cool with it. I understand my role. I just got to make shots late in the game. That's why I'm here. I'm just happy that we can win.
When you say that you understand your role and when your number's going to get called, what is the role that you see and when your number's going to get called?
For sure late in the game. I think that my teammates and the coaches have a lot of confidence in me to take and make shots late. That's all I'm worried about. I hope we never, ever get into that situation anyways. But if we do, I feel like a lot of the times I'm going to be called upon to make some shots.
Amir, what was it like going down to Delaware and playing those minutes?
I'm trying to do that too, to tell the truth.
It's fun. It's almost like, for me, it felt like just playing late night pickup ball with my friends. Mm-hmm. That's the feeling I got, just having fun, playing basketball, and they not really worried about, getting subbed out or anything else. You just go out there and just be free and play.
Is there a pride aspect to that at all? Thinking that you're a veteran, you've been in the league for a long time, and just basketball.
It's just basketball. It's what we've been playing all our life. It's what we love to do. It comes to a point where, we just want to go do that, and especially for me.
You think they'll let me play in the D League or G League? All right, I'm gonna ask next time you go. Let's do it together.
Blue coats.
Jimmy, what inspired the headband look tonight?
Because I got braids.
Thank Martin.
No, that is not the reason why. A new look, something different. Let's see if they're still in tomorrow. But anytime I got braids, I'll probably wear a headband or whatever he calls it, the thing that you tie in your back.
It's gonna fade your hairline away.
Stop saying that.
It is. You gotta, all the sweat build up in that. You just gotta wear that.
I look good though.
Natural. I'm just letting you know.
Did I look good?
It was hard. I ain't gonna lie.
Appreciate it.
Well, Jimmy, why do you think, like, you talked about hopefully it doesn't get to that close situation down the stretch where you do have to kind of take over like that, but do you think it would help maybe if you had more of that aggressive takeover mentality throughout the game?
Not really. I just play basketball the right way. When I'm open, I shoot it. If I'm not, I pass it. As long as we win, I'm cool with it. I'm telling you, I'm not worried about nothing. We just figure everything out, get to these playoffs, clicking on all cylinders, and then, you know, to me, I think that's where the real basketball starts.
Amir always seems like the first guy to give fist bumps to everybody, whether or not he plays. Always has a good attitude around. Like
this one.
This one right here.
Yeah, it's natural, man.
He had a day though. You had a day.
When?
You had that one day.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Let's just get that out the way. Y'all didn't see it, but he had a day. He was sick, and he didn't come around, so he didn't get the fist bump nobody. But other than that, it was all good.
Energy level is always high, man. You gotta get turned up. Somebody got to be the one that turns somebody up, and I try to.
And by the way, stop smacking me like that before the game. Like, you know, when you be one big body like that, when you do that.
Like that?
Exactly. I like it when you
You really like that?
So then who was the person for you up here as you're choking?
That's how I feel whenever you be hitting me about it.
My bad. Breathing I wasn't ready.
Who's the person for you that like got you hyped up tonight since you usually do it for everybody else?
I'd probably say maybe Rashid, man. He used to come up with some kind of antics before the game that you wouldn't expect, and you just kind of relax. You know what I mean? Everybody's all tensed up, and he'll do something. You know, the thing I do before the game in the layup line is I throw the ball over the rim in the layup line, and I got that from Rashid, man, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I thought it was just dope, man, when you're so tensed up in the game and you just kind of relax once you do something out of the norm. Yes, Jimmy.
Why'd you take the mic out of there if you're not going to talk to the mic?
Man, gotta have it up.
I was just asking, but I just noticed that.
Yeah, like I was saying, yeah. You know, it's just energy.
You've both been around the game for a while now, like, you know, you're in the 13th season. How do you guys feel about this locker room heading into a postseason, and the cohesion, how this team's coming together, a big playoff run coming up here? Do you guys feel good about where you are right now and your
solid?
locker room?
You know, every team has its ups and downs. As you see with this team, you know, we've had trades and this and that, you know, and you know, it takes time just to click, you know what I mean? And everybody's is solid, you know what I mean? Anything to add to that?
I just think everybody likes each other. Everybody gets along. I can see you out of my peripheral, by the way, Amir. And he does like me a lot. He's my friend. And, you know, everybody's in constant communication, especially out there on the floor, but even off the floor. Like, we like being around one another. Everybody's smiling. I think that's the best part about it. When you got good people, everybody's happy, everybody's smiling. The basketball is the easy part. No more. That's what I'm talking.